Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers pretextual stops, canine units, and Terry frisks, and was brought to us once again by the Batosize channel. Please take time out of your day to check out the Batosize channel. Not only is he responsible for major legislation in regards to recording the police, but he delivers great content on a daily basis. Let's dive right in and audit the interaction. On August 9th, 2018, 18-year-old Taeon Lee borrowed his mother's car and was on his way to a local convenience store where he was stopped by Detective Kevin Crawford of the Louisville Metro Police Department in Louisville, Kentucky, for making a wide turn. It is important to note that Mr. Lee did in fact make a wide turn, and the original reason for Detective Crawford's stop is valid.
I got him. What's going on, man?
Stop.
You know what I'm stopping you for? Man, when you turned on here onto Dixie, or 18th Street, you turned in the far left lane, you're supposed to turn in the right lane. See how there's two lanes? That's the reason why, man. Are there any weapons in your car? No drugs? Awesome, man. Do you have your ID? No, you ain't got any guns, right? You good, brother? I'm sorry?
I'm at work today.
Oh, you got to speak up. It's all this.
Nothing.
You saying something about work?
Yeah. Just have to go do something. You can go ahead and check it, man. Let's go ahead and check it.
Okay, hello, man. Awesome. So do you still live on Lewis Morris Drive? What part of town's that in?
Parkville.
Oh, it's Parkville? I got you, man. Awesome. Do you have your insurance, too? That's a crazy ringtone.
Yes. Yeah, I'm pull it over. Mom's on speaker.
That's cool, man. Come on. Do me a favor, put your hands on the steering wheel.
What you opening up the door for?
Yeah, man, do me a favor, grab your phone and your wallet, stick it on the seat.
Why?
Because I'm telling you, or it's going to fall out when you get out of the vehicle.
Why are you taking me out the vehicle?
I'll move it up here for you.
Mama, they taking me out the vehicle.
You want to hop out?
Get out of the car. They telling me to get out the car now.
And that's the reason why I didn't want anything on you. I didn't want to break your phone, brother.
Right.
You don't have any weapons on you, do you?
I don't.
No drugs?
Nope.
Awesome, man. And turn around, put your hands on the car for me. Switch feet.
I don't. I even did anything.
Although Detective Crawford's reason for the stop is valid, it is not the only reason he stopped Mr. Lee. The detective is conducting what is known as a pretextual stop. In the 1996 Supreme Court case of Wren v. United States, the court held that as long as officers have a reasonable cause to believe that a traffic violation occurred, they may stop any vehicle. This ruling paved the foundation for modern police tactics and essentially encouraged officers to stop cars for any petty violation if they believe the stop may lead to greater charges. The Wren ruling created a policing environment which tolerates pretextual stops and inadvertently fosters racial profiling. Detective Crawford is part of the LMPD's 9th Mobile Division, which is tasked with reducing violence and getting drugs off the streets, not traffic patrol. Louisville councilman and former police officer David James said in a USA Today article, quote, "Stops like these are a bad idea. It is morally wrong. It is like going fishing with a big net. There are better ways to fight violence."
Why are you checking me for?
I didn't say you did anything. So
Then
you don't have any...
Why did you take me out the car?
Do you have any drugs, weapons on you?
I don't. I told you that when you asked me the first time. I do mine.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to make sure you don't have any weapons, okay?
No.
Yeah.
The 1968 Supreme Court ruling of Terry v. Ohio established the doctrine of the Terry frisk, which grants officers the authority to conduct a pat-down search of an individual if they have reasonable suspicion that the individual may be armed and dangerous. Officers often ignore the reasonable suspicion aspect of a Terry frisk, but the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center's guide on the Terry frisk explicitly notes that reasonable suspicion is required as legal justification to conduct a pat-down search. The guide also notes that reasonable suspicion must be supported by articulable facts, not just a hunch. Many officers operate under the misconception that a Terry frisk is a safety precaution afforded to all officers during any stop and ignore the legal precedent for the pat-down search. At this point, the officers have no reason to suspect that Mr. Lee has any weapons on his person, and there is no legal justification for the frisk.
We're allowed to pat you down.
Take a step off the vehicle,
Pat me down.
Yep, we're allowed to do that.
They took me off the car.
We're allowed to do that.
No, man.
All right, sir, we can come back to the rear of the car. Do me a favor, put your butt against the car. So you say I can't search, so can I search the car?
No.
Quit doing the clenching your fist thing, too.
Dude, that's some bull.
What's bullcrap?
The only day I got off, I just want to go home.
Okay, well,
You'll go
unfortunately,
home.
you did a traffic violation right in front of us. Just do me a favor, hang tight. I'm going to talk to my canine partner, okay?
Hey, whatever. You close my door?
No.
Why?
I can't leave you to go close the door.
Okay.
Quit with the attitude. He's not giving you an attitude, and I'm not giving you an attitude.
I understand.
We deal with violent crime all day, every day. We're going to stop 30 more people after you. As soon as we get down here, you'll go home, okay? If you're wasting our time and we're wasting your time, I'm sorry for the small inconvenience. We're allowed to get people out of the car. Your heart is beating through your chest when you're on the phone with your mama and you're narrating to your mom, Mom, I stopped by the police. This is where I'm at. They're getting me out of the car. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
When you do all that, it's the same thing that people do when they're trying to hide something from the police and they're trying to take the situation off of it. Just like you're looking back at my partner over and over and over again, like you're waiting for him to see something or for him to do something wrong. It's 2018, young man. We all wear body cameras. It's recording all of it. It records your audio, my audio. It records all that. So guess what happens? If there was something in that vehicle and we go to trial over it, guess what? The jury your attitude. Okay? So bring it down. There's no point in it. We're here for you, man.
The condescending speech of the officer couldn't be more ironic or oxymoronic. According to an article published by the Louisville Courier-Journal, in an analysis of over 130,000 Louisville traffic stops from 2016 to 2018, African Americans were stopped more often and 3 times as likely to be searched as white drivers. Although African Americans make up only 20% of Louisville's driving age population, they accounted for 33% of the stops and 57% of the searches. African American motorists were searched 12% of the time they were stopped, compared with 4% of the time white drivers were stopped. But police found contraband in 72% of the searches of whites versus only 41% for African Americans. This data suggests that the Louisville Police Department actually isn't there for young African American men like Mr. Lee.
There's a shooting every day. It's crazy. It's sad. It's ridiculous. Ain't nobody been nasty to you at all. Were you able to coordinate him or anything? Ready? Do me a favor. We're gonna stand right over here away from the dog. Like right where the Ford emblem is.
The 2012 Supreme Court case of Florida v. Harris affirmed that a drug detection dog's alert to the exterior of a vehicle can provide an officer with probable cause to conduct a warrantless search of the vehicle's interior. While it has been proven that drug-sniffing dogs are sometimes less accurate than a coin flip, a 2011 Chicago Tribune report showed a success rate for their local canine units of just 27% among drivers others who were Latino. Although there have been many clinical studies which prove the efficacy of drug dogs, the data for the practical application of canine units in the field doesn't always correlate. The Tribune's report suggests that officers often mishandle canine units and tend to establish an improper reward system based on positive alerts rather than actual detection. The practical application of drug-sniffing dogs is questionable at best, and much of the data surrounding their use suggests that they are unreliable unless handled by an expert trainer, which a majority of police officers are not.
Was it positive? Put your hands behind your back real quick. Put your hands behind your back. I'm not going to have you run like that. There's the dog indicated on your vehicle. I don't know what's in your car, but like I said, I don't want you to run. So you're still just being detained. You're not free to go, but you're not under arrest at this time. I just don't want you to go anywhere, okay? But I'm not going to fight you, and I'm certainly not going to chase you. I had to chase some guy last night, and I haven't recovered from it, so I'm not chasing you today, okay? That's all it is.
Hello. I'll come talk to you. Just do me a favor, hang out by the telephone pole.
What did you pull him over for?
I'll come talk to you, okay? Let's come over here for me.
There's nothing in there.
Okay, well,
It's my
can you
car.
do me a favor and come back over here? I'm just giving you a reference for you this way you can stay, man.
Okay.
Right? I'm the detective that pulled him over.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So basically, he committed a traffic violation right in
What
front
did
of
he
me.
do?
He conducted an improper turn on the 18th Street from Algonquin.
I was on the phone with him the whole way.
Okay.
He said you were following him the whole way.
Okay.
There was no improper turn.
Okay. Well,
And he didn't give you
luckily
permission,
enough
sir.
for you, ma'am. Luckily enough for you, everything was captured on body camera. Okay.
No, luckily enough for you.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
he didn't give you permission
Okay.
to search
We
the
don't
car.
need his permission,
Yes,
ma'am.
you do.
We had a positive indication by the K9. Okay.
Oh my God.
So,
You
ma'am,
got to be kidding.
you guys are more than welcome to watch, videotape, whatever. Just do me a favor, give us some room and stay over here, please. Ma'am, please stay over here.
I'm staying
You're trespassing on private property right now.
It's for sale.
Ma'am, stay over there, please. If you
I'm not.
approach my traffic stop,
This
I
is
will
my
take you.
son.
Ma'am, if you approach my traffic stop, I will
This is
take
my
you to
son.
jail.
The exact distance that should be maintained from a traffic stop while recording has not been clearly established by higher courts. But according to the Officer Safety Guide on the Public Recording of Police Activities, issued by the International Association of Chiefs of Police, recording parties must maintain a reasonable distance from the officers engaged in enforcement or related police duties and may not physically position themselves in a manner that obstructs officers from performing their duties. I have made a video that discusses recording traffic stops in more detail, which I will link in the info card above. Mr. Lee's mother is well within her rights to record this encounter, so long as she does not physically interfere with the proceedings of the stop.
That
I
is
don't
my
care.
car.
I do not
I don't care either.
You know what? Okay, great. Ma'am, sir, can you do me a favor and talk?
No. She's standing back. We're standing back.
Can you, I'm giving you a reference point to stand at, okay?
I'm
It's right over here by
here.
these hills.
I'm not bothering
Do you see where I'm pointing at?
No.
Can we step back over
Yes,
here?
that would be amazing, please.
So we just step back
I'm
here.
not going nowhere.
Hey, you can do him. You can do him. This person. Pockets.
Step off the vehicle. Spread the feet, please. Spread the feet.
Got like a little change pocket right there in the front.
That's how you turn around. Just put your butt back in this board. Thank you.
Why do you have, if you don't mind me asking, why do you have like this negative view towards the police? What's the deal? What's ever happened in your life personally where you're like, you can give me a good explanation?
Absolutely nothing.
Really?
When I graduated, I got a good ass job.
Right.
I graduated with 3 full-ride band scholarships. I ain't never did shit in my life. I've been in the house all day.
So what's the problem? Like, why are we in this situation?
They are in that situation because of the reputation that the police have made for themselves, and these officers are reinforcing through this interaction. A negative personal experience with the police is not required to understand the national epidemic of bad policing that is prevalent in America. It is estimated that police kill an American citizen every 7 hours, with African Americans being twice as likely to be shot. Mr. Lee is a young African American male in a country where both the police officers and the justice system are known to discriminate, and he has every right to be both frustrated and nervous.
We didn't do it.
Pull me over.
We made a traffic stop for your violation that you did.
Alright, man. I don't want to talk.
And then you went up here with it. Huh? You did the entire time. We don't know who you are. I don't know that you graduated and you got several scholarships and that you have a good job. I mean, I don't know. It's not like I have a x-ray vision that says, oh, this is who's in this card. He's good to go. If you don't want to hear it, that's fine. You can continue with your negative view towards me, I guess. I just figured I'd try to understand it, but that's fine. Huh? I'll never understand?
All right, sir, here's your ID back. All right, you've got court October 2nd for improper turning at 7 p.m. 600 West Jeff. Do you understand the reason why you stopped? All righty, have a wonderful day. Appreciate it, guys.
After finding no weapons or drugs, Detective Crawford issues Mr. Lee a citation for the traffic infraction and allows him to leave the scene without further incident. Following this interaction, the citation issued by Detective Crawford was dropped and an internal investigation into the actions of the officers was launched. On June 10th, 2019, Mr. Lee filed a lawsuit against Chief Steve Conrad, the commander of the 9th Mobile Division, and 5 officers, as well as the division's commander, William Hibbs. The lawsuit noted that both Chief Conrad and Commander Hibbs knew or should have known that their orders to use, quote, aggressive policing for minor violations in black neighborhoods as a way to reduce violent crime would result in biased policing and unconstitutional stops and searches of citizens, the majority of whom are black males and persons living in poverty-stricken neighborhoods. Both the internal investigation and Mr. Lee's lawsuit are still ongoing. Overall, Detective Crawford and the Louisville Metro Police Department get an F for conducting what appear to be racially motivated pretextual stops, abusing the power of canine units to bypass consent to search, and escalating a minor traffic stop into a 30-minute search and seizure without reasonable suspicion. The 9th Mobile Division operated under the umbrella of the People, Places, and Narcotics strategy developed by Chief Conrad, which ultimately encouraged officers to target young African American males for minor traffic violations in an effort to locate weapons and narcotics. The initiative of this strategy is disguised as targeting high crime areas, but it is clear that the 9th Mobile Division practiced biased policing procedures and were encouraged by the strategy's language. The racial element of this interaction cannot be overlooked, and the relationship between the citizens of Louisville and the Louisville PD is heavily influenced by interactions like this one. I sincerely hope that the 9th Mobile Division is dissolved and the pending lawsuit results in both compensation for Mr. Lee and accountability for the officers involved. Mr. Lee gets an A for remaining calm, refusing to allow the officers to search, and following up this encounter with legal action. It is clear that Mr. Lee is a victim of driving while black, and that the 9th Mobile Division targeted him based on his race, age, and gender demographics. I commend Mr. Lee for his calm and collected demeanor and his ability to express his frustration with the stop without becoming irate or unhinged. I also commend Mr. Lee for taking legal action against the officers and raising awareness to the plight of specialized policing divisions within local departments. Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic you would like us to cover in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more police interaction content.